Okay, good afternoon all. Now today who is going to present CT2 Unit 2? Seventeen. Okay, can anybody please present? I already informed in the
Sir?
last class. Yeah, are you going to present?
Sir, I don't know. I am not coming from the past two classes, sir. Just came for this class. For past 2 days, I was asking for everything. I had some work, sir.
Okay, for your
What,
information, I am
what,
letting you know that from
what,
now on,
what to present, sir? I don't know.
Unit 2 topics, any of your interested topics, you have to
I
present.
don't know about this.
Okay, in the next
This
class
class
you
I
can.
did, sir.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, number 5.
Yes, sir.
Are you going to present?
Sir, in the next class, sir.
Okay. Next one, 17-24. 17-24. Shall I remove you? 17-24. Okay, I will mark absent. 1. Number 1.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, can you please present?
Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you. Which topic?
Hydrogenation of oil, sir.
Hydrogenation of oil. Okay, yeah, please proceed.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today I am going to present you about hydrogenation of oil. So basically, hydrogenation is a unit process which is used in fat and oil industry, where it is used to remove double bonds, and it is used to raise small melting point. Uh, so uh, glyceride, it is used to raise melting point. Then glycerides of unsaturated fatty acids or liquids. Uh, uh, Glycerides of fatty acids or liquid at room temperatures are used, which are unsuitable for edible fats. We convert the unsaturated fatty acids to saturated fatty acid or oil. Oils are changed in Oils are changed into fats by introducing the hydrogen. Sir, can you keep the PPT, sir?
Yes, this is PPT. Uh,
Flow
it
chart,
is
sir.
not visible. Okay,
Flow.
flowchart. Okay, yeah. Please go ahead.
First, the oil is heated. Uh, uh, First, we send the oil and H2 into the hydrogenator. Uh, so first, the oil is heated to remove the water and to drive off the air, and uh, a catalyst from the down part. From the down part, the catalyst oil slurry is prepared, which is sent into an agitated mixture, and the slurry along with the oil is to be hydrogenated, which is pumped to the hydrogenator, uh, and the hydrogen will be introduced at high pressure together with turning off the steam. Turning off the steam to control exothermic hydrogenation reaction. So after the hydrogenation, after the completion of hydrogenation, uh, This batch is sent into the it is cooled and it is filtered and is sent to the catalyst for for reuse purpose. The hydrogenated oil from the filter will be deodorized to remove the volatile matters, and it is heated. Then it is heated in a Dow in a heating press. Uh, then adsorption is taking place. Uh, Adsorption of oil is taking place to remove the color compounds, which is carried out using the filter 8 fuller earth carbons, uh, uh, or any suitable reuse or any other adsorbent. Then the adsorbent is removed by using the filters, and the hydrogenated oil is collected. Thank you, sir. Sir, can I present tomorrow also, sir? I didn't prepare.
Yeah, definitely. First, I will suggest that good. Your presentation is good.
Okay,
So you
sir.
have prepared somewhat, but first you have to tell what are the raw materials required, because
Okay.
everybody will find very easy when we list out raw materials. What are the raw materials initially required, and if there are any end products, so that
Okay,
if
sir.
there are any commercial products, then what type of catalyst we are using. Then through together with this flow sheet, if you explain what are the reaction is taking place, like that
Okay,
I
sir.
have explained you earlier, the same, then
Ah,
it will be very easy. Okay, please go ahead on that.
okay, sir.
No
Okay, sir.
problem. Your
To
presentation is good. No
okay.
problem.
Can I
Tomorrow, yeah.
present even tomorrow also, sir?
Yeah, tomorrow may be a holiday, so next class, in the next class,
Okay,
please.
sir.
Yeah, be
Okay,
prepared.
sir.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Thank you for your presentation.
Okay,
Nice.
sir.
Yeah. Okay, next one. Number 3.
Sir,
Yeah, can you present?
yes, sir.
Yeah, this topic. Thank you.
Cleaning action of soap.
So, action. Yeah, no problem. Please go ahead. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. Um, the the success of an cleaning agent is to supply compounds with um, hydrophobic and hydrophilic. In this given picture, oil is hydrophobic and the water is hydrophilic. Hmm. Um, Groups which will also appreciably decrease surface tension and increase the wettability. Um, these are the chemical compounds used for human comfort, cleanliness, and for industrial surface active applications. And surface tension is here. Surface tension is inversely proportional to wettability. In wash water, soaps or detergent increase the wettability of water so that it can easily penetrate into fabric and reach the stains. Each molecule of the cleaning solution has a long chain to which one end is hydrophobic and another end is hydrophilic compound. Hydrophilic compound. Um, The hydrophobic end attracts stain particles and surroundings at the same time. Water compounds pulls the molecules and stain particles away from fabric into the wash water. This is the action when combined with mechanical agitation of washing machine enables detergent to remove stain. Suspend it and keep it from a red position on clothes. Cleansing action supplies hydrophobic and hydrophilic groups which is also appreciable decrease surface tension and increase reachability. In this picture, when we combine the oil and water, oil is a hydrophobic and water is a hydrophilic. Where in this we have a grease and hydrophobic is uh, sir. Once you explain this figure, sir.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, now the formula of any type of cleansing material is RCOO M or RCOO, some textbooks it will be A. So the RCO, whatever the component is there, this is a tail end because it is a fatty acid chain or a fatty acid radical. So whatever the alkali component is there is nothing but a hydrophilic component like Na plus or K plus. Okay, when it is a hard soap, it is a K plus. When it is then it is a Na. When it is soft soap, then it is a K. So whatever this component is there, C double bond O into Na or K, which is a hydrophilic nature, and the tail end, which is called a RCOO compound, which is a tail end, which is considered as a hydrophobic because presence of fatty acid radicals into it. Due to the fatty acid radicals, it is considered as oil soluble or nothing but a hydrophobic tail. Whenever these component, it is nothing but a soap. This overall figure is nothing but a soap or detergent. Whenever we add this detergent into some on some fabric, now this head molecule, whatever this head is there, hydrophilic head, it is responsible for the wettability of that particular fabric. Okay, this head will go into that fabric. This head will help to go this component, what detergent component, into that fabric. Then after going into the fabric, then this tail molecule, whatever this hydrophobic tail is there, this comes into picture, and this plays a very important role in extracting the molecules, surrounding dirt molecules. When that dirt molecules are attracted, it will form a micella. Micella is nothing but this organic phase, whatever the oil phase is there, to which it will be dirt particles will be attracted together. These dirt particles and this oil molecule, tail molecule, will form one micella. That is called a micella. Organic oil molecule plus dirt is called a micella, and formation of this micella will just extend from that fabric, so that it cannot be redeposited. So this tail end plays a very important role. Initially, the important role played by any type of detergent is this hydrophobic head, in order to wet that particular fabric. After wetting that fabric only, this tail end will play a major role in just attracting the dirt molecules. After attracting, this tail molecule will just form a micella with the surrounding dirt molecules. After forming a micella, that micella will be separated into the wash water. Therefore, it will not redeposit once again. So any detergent molecules or the soap molecule will contain two types of molecule. One is a hydrophobic tail, and second one is a hydrophilic head. Okay, this is the mechanism. Is it okay?
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Once again, can you tell?
Tomorrow I will tell, sir. I have not prepared.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, it's good presentation. No problem. Okay, then number 4.
Sir,
Yeah, Pavani.
extraction of oil, sir.
Extraction of oil. Okay, thank you. Please go ahead.
I'm going to explain about methods of oil extraction from seeds. In this extraction from seeds, we have two processes. One is mechanical process and the other is solvent extraction process. The raw materials are required for this is seeds and solvents such as petroleum catalyst hexanoate, trichloroethylene, which is POX. And also third step is involved in this is purification of chemicals. Alkalis such as sodium hydroxide and sodium carbonate is used. And in mechanical process, we have in mechanical process first the seeds are washed and cleaned and dehulled. Sir, could you put the
Mhm.
flow sheet?
Yeah, yeah.
Here in mechanical process, seeds are introduced. They are cleaned and dehulled by physical method. After cleaning and removal of hull, they are sent to the size reduction, which is denoted by cracking rolls, and size reduction, that is crushing rolls. Here they are converted to flakes. These are sent to the mechanical expeller. Here steam is cooked and flakes get more susceptible. That is, here from the mechanical expeller,
It is a digester.
Digester. It releases oil, fat, then it is sent to the screw expeller. In this screw expeller, solid and liquid are separated from the cooked flakes. This is about the mechanical process and sup- mm, and in the solvent extraction process, here start from this extractor. Here flakes are simultaneously introduced in solvent extractor process, and these are sent to the desolventizer. From the desolventizer, it is it is sent to the flash evaporator, which will separate from the extractor. It will separate oil and water is passed into the evaporator, and from there it's sent to the vacuum stripper. In the process of flash evaporator, and it separates oil from water and solvent, and it is sent to the vacuum stripper column, and here also the same process takes place, that is separation of oil from water and solvent, but it is less amount compared to the flash evaporator. And this oil from this vacuum strip column and sent to the column of alkali, which is used as sodium hydroxide and sodium carbonate. The usage of alkali because to remove fatty acids. From here, it is sent to the fuller set of carbon. In fuller earth carbon, it removes the color of the oil. From there, it sent to the it gives the purified form of oil.
Okay. Thank you. Nice presentation. Please include.
Okay.
Okay. Next one, number 5. Number 5.
Sir, I will tell in next class.
Okay. Yeah. Please remember in the next class. Yeah. Then 6.
Okay.
Number 6.
I'll present in the next class, sir.
Okay. Same up to number 9.
Next class I'll present.
Next class. Okay. 17. Okay. 19.
Sir,
Next time.
sir,
Please,
proceeding.
Which one?
I will talk about general extraction methods.
Okay. Yeah. Please go ahead.
Is my screen is visible?
Your screen is visible, but now okay. Now it is okay.
So good afternoon, friends. So I want to talk about oils and its extractions. So if we generally talk about oils, so there are different types of what we say oils. So first one is triglyceride fatty acids, saturated, monosaturated, polyunsaturated. So when we go into that topic, I will be explaining about what is saturated and monosaturated and polysaturated. So these are general structures of triglycerides and fatty acids. It's like it's the general part of that triglyceride is glycerol. On this is the basic unit. This on this unit, the addition of one or another unit makes an triglyceride, and Next is saturated fatty acids. Saturated fatty acid is just a linear chain of carbon. So it doesn't have any double bond or any other group. It goes like a single chain. And monosaturated fatty acids, uh, which has a double bond in it, and unsaturated acids are it has a very two or two or three bonds, more than at least two or three double bonds. So actually basically so more than uh, one double bond. And these are some examples of my important fatty acids: palmitic, stearic, and s- and here is some oleic. So I will go to next to its extraction, and I will discuss about general extraction method of oil. We know that the any when we are extracting from a we extract oils from a seeds. So we have to go through a different process, like first cleaning the seeds, removing the shell of that seed, and we have to process it, and like we have to make it as a paste, or as a powder for like extraction, wet extraction or hot water extraction. We have to do that. First step is here we have, which is uh, seed cleaning. And next, decortication is like we have to remove the outer shell of the nuts. And size reduction is basically can be we can make it as in paste or powder, and we have to roll it. And when we roll, the surface area of this oil, that natural product will be increased, so we can extract oil more easily. So next we have to do conditioning is like we have to make pure make more purify. We have to remove dirt materials and extra shell that left over in that. So when we come into oil extraction, there are some methods like wet extraction and hot water extractions. And after that we have to do clarification, then we get clarified oils, or else we can directly go and make as this oil city. It's like we don't have to press it and make an oil, but we can like we can have it like blocks. Whenever we want, we can extract it from that. So these are the general steps. Here is an example of a flow sheet wherein natural oil is extracted, and I will show in another example here. So this is about a just a typical layout. It just gives an understanding how it is. Like we have clarifiers, extraction, rolling pins, and clarifiers and all that. So I am going to explain more about small scale oil seed processing. So first step was what I was cleaning. And after cleaning, like we have to remove all the dust particles, extra leaves and nut. And we come to the process called decortication, where we remove the outer shells. Like if we take palm kernel, it's like a very hard from outside, so we have to basically remove it by crushing it, or drying them, or we can roast them. So roast and fly them in air, so extra shells will go. So here next we come to seed cleaning. Seed cleaning is like we have to um, remove extra dirt, small stones. We have here, see, dirt, dust, sand, and small stone as soon as possible, because we can't let the small stones go into the rolling pins and cause damage to the machinery. So after that we come to size reduction. Size reduction is, as I said, basically we can use as powdered mill. So here we here they explain about hammer mill. It's like we have to it's a method of hammering that nut and reducing the size of the seed. And next is rolling. Rolling is like we have to improve the oil extraction, because if we extract oil from that powder material, it's like it to increase its efficiency of extraction of oil. Because if we if we take oil from this powder material, we will lose some of the oil in that, so efficiency will be decreased. So we have to use rolling as an improvement in oil extraction. So it's basically we are increasing the surface area. As high the surface area of the seeds increase, the better the extraction will be good. And next is conditioning. As I already told, conditioning is like we have to process by heating, or we can like put it for sometimes, so that the dirt will settle down, or else we can make remove dirt material by flotations or any other methods. So when we all do that, we will have that powder material or cakes. We have to like we have to use this extraction method. First method is wet extraction. We will use like we already know that if there is a water, if we pour a oil on it, one layer of oil will be forming. So it's like we use water to remove oil from that seeds. Because we already have the cakes and extracted material. So remove every bit of oil from that. We use water, like we can use stream of water, or else here there is also a method called hot water flotation. Because it's a very good method. It can be used. It has better results than cold extraction methods. And we in this method we have to boil it and evaporate it. We should check its moisture content, because we can't pollute the oil. So, and another we when we cross about this, and we go to an manual method using kneading. It's like we in houses, we our mothers used to knead, like we use wheat flour, and with hand we will press it and elongate it, so that the flour will be soft and very good good texture. So same method is used in like kneading. So it's like basically we will need the oil, the cake. So the oil percentage will increase. And I want to talk more about this manual presses. And manual presses, here I will show some examples. Here is a wedge process. It's like we use an wedge. He will show. Here we use, like the starting position is like this. And when we pour that material which has to be extracted into this, it's like the two wedges come into contact and make it possible to remove oil from that natural product we want to extract. And next method is like, it's like we already know about this method. We should have seen it at villages, like they tie ox to this oil milling machine. So basically it's like we will put here, and we will from that we will insert this machine in this part, and we will like it moves like this. It moves like this. so that here from the here we'll be having material. Here see we have holes in that. When we press that, oil from that material will come out and gets collected in this. So we have seen that in villages we use oxes to for this oil extraction method. And next method is like scissor method. It's like we basically do this, and this in both direction we press it, like the pressure will fall. And here we have spindles, nuts. It we have here suspension. The suspension is the main part. So it presses the material, and oil will be collected down here. And I want to talk about the this another method. This is hydraulic press. We generally know how hydraulic machines work nowadays. This um, new method is used. It is more efficient because it takes. We can use it. We can do hydraulic press with the help of the machines, or else here as shown in the figure, we can use we by human power also we can do. But it also possible that we can use some motors for that. Here is another ram press, which is like it can be a human work. We have to see here, right here we will insert the material, which like we move this handle to and fro, which will press that oil, natural material that it can be either sunflowers or any seed. We will press that, and we will get the required oil. So it's like every country has an every material, every different method of extracting oil. So here it is an here I want to talk about this gunny method. In this gunny method, we it's like we use it for idli doshas, and that part. It's like this basically goes around. This motor is a fixed one. It's like this part will rotate and keep on rotating. This um, this uh, this motor will press that, and we have here motors. We can adjust the size and how 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 the size particle reduction, and we can extract more oil from this. And here is same, but it's a different figure. Here is an hander X2 expeller. We can use it as with the help of a shaft. We can move that. It's like this comes, and here it will go like this, and it will come outside of that. Come outside where the oil we want. So we can use in the methods I explained. We can use electric methods also. And I want to talk about clarification methods. It's like after doing all methods, and we have to ensure that the purity of the oil is very good. So we can filter it by woolen material, finely woven material, so that any dust particle or any extra seed material will go off. And we can heat it within uh, heat with a metal basin, so that whichever that part will settle down. Here some of the methods like expellers and oil clarification. We already know about what is a clarifier. So we know that we can also separate this. We can also have clarifier with the help of the currents, but it's a little high cost equipment. But we can do an general clarifier. So up to this I have covered oils and its method of extraction. So thank you for this opportunity.
Yeah, thank you. It's a good presentation. It's a good research. Okay, very much you have conducted research, Zach. Okay, for the examination point of view, you don't require all these things, but for the research point of view, you require how to prepare your oil and everything at home. You will have a great knowledge. Isaac has done a very good thing for us. Thank you, Isaac. Thank you once again. Okay, then next one, 34. 34, number 34.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, can you please present?
Next class, sir.
Okay, yeah, okay, no problem. Then DCT 49.
Sir,
Yeah, can you please present?
sir, I came outside, sir. I will say next class.
Okay, it is not a good answer. Came outside. Okay, next class we'll see.
Okay, sir.
Okay, only very less members are present today class. I don't know why. Ravi is also absent. Many members. Okay, no problem. Today's presentations are very good. Keep it up, Isaac. I'm very impressed with your presentation, with your research especially. Okay, then this is about Unit 3. Powering. Yes, shall we start Unit 3 or very less members are there today? Only including me, 11 candidates are there. What to do?
Just give introduction, sir.
Okay, it is better, I think. I don't know why they are absent. Whether you know any reason? Hello?
Don't know, sir.
Don't know. Okay. Yeah. Okay. See. Thank you. Okay, yeah, this is regarding Unit 3, which is a microbiology. So, microbiology, nothing but a is branch of study which is concerned more about the microorganisms. Okay, whether we can see or we cannot see depends on which scale we are applying. Then the part A of your this Unit 3 is nothing but to study the general characteristics or general classification of a microorganisms. Like it is a single cell, or it will have some nucleus, some plasma. It will have the more than one cell is involved in that one. That is nothing but eukaryotes or prokaryotes. How they are classified, we have to know these things. And then next one is general characteristics and biotechnological applications of protozoa, algae, fungi, bacteria, virus. Okay, like food industry and every industry, many industries will use this fungi, bacteria, like dairy industry, alcohol manufacturing industry. Many other industries will use the bacteria, virus, fungi for the biotechnology, many biotechnological applications in the pharmaceutical industries. Everybody will use some of their useful microorganisms. We have to study what type of microorganisms they are going to use. Like if we consider our milk, there are many bacteria like E. coli, Salmonella. These are the unwanted bacteria will be there, so that we can perform some pasteurization. Pasteurization is nothing but some of the bad bacteria will be removed at high temperature with a within a short period of time, so that the bacteria will be killed down, and we can store that milk, we can use that milk, we can reuse that milk, its shelf life can be increased. Like that, a way like lactobacter lactobacter or lactobacteria we can call. So these bacteria we use in our curd preparation. Okay, in the cheese preparation, in the curd preparation, many types of bacteria will be used. Yogurt preparation, you can use many types of bacteria. Therefore, these types of good bacteria will have will play a major role in many food industries. Okay, we have to study what type of industries they are using this bacteria, useful and bad bacteria. What are the bad bacteria? What are the good bacteria? We have to study them. What is microorganisms and what is the microbiology? Okay, microorganism is nothing but a organism which can be studied under a microscope. Okay, which is present in a microscopic scale, which may be exist as a single cell form or in a colony of cells. Nothing but a population, a total one society, the members present in a society. Like the same way, the cells, the microorganisms can also be present in a colony of cells. Okay, they are nothing but a cells only. So they will have some nucleus in that one, surrounded with some membrane, and in some microorganisms doesn't contain any type of nucleus. So those classification, the main classification of these microorganisms are whether they are a eukaryotes, nothing but a single or unicellular organisms. Okay, they are having they cannot have a membrane bound nucleus. So this cannot have a nucleus in that one. Therefore, it can be present within a membrane, that type of microorganisms. So this type of prokaryotes are the first living organisms. Okay, first they come into existence. The organic compound, these type of microorganisms, which are called prokaryotes, are come into the existence first. Okay, there are two types of domains in that prokaryotes. One is archaea, and next one is a bacteria. Bacteria will also come under the prokaryotes. Then the next type of microorganisms are the eukaryotes. Okay, whose cells doesn't have a nucleus enclosed within the membrane. Okay, they doesn't have any type of nucleus in that one. Like we have studied in our 10th class, there is a mitochondria. What is nucleus? You already know. A tiny particle. The origin of any type of atom is nothing but a nucleus. Then how we can study these microorganisms under microscopic view only, we can see these microorganisms. Okay, there are the examples for these eukaryotes are nothing but all the existing lives we can be which can be seen with our eye. Okay, which are termed as the eukaryotes. Okay, example for these are fungi, protists, plants, animals are the examples for the eukaryotes. So the study of this, all these of microorganisms is nothing but a microbiology. And where these they find the applications, all these bacteria, whether it may be prokaryotes or the eukaryotes, or these microorganisms, where they find their applications. Okay, among them, the first application is the production of dairy products. Okay, the popularly known dairy product is a curd, which we used to which we used to produce curd in our household purposes also. So what type of bacteria are present in the milk? Like salmonella, I already said you, salmonella, E. coli. These are the harmful bacteria which are already present, which are extracted from any living, whatever the living organisms on which we are extracting that particular milk, from which we are taking that particular milk, will impart some of the harmful bacteria, like the salmonella or E. coli. This type of bacteria will cause some harm to the consumed person. So we need to remove that type of bacteria. How can we remove that type of bacteria? By the way of pasteurization. Pasteurization is nothing but high temperature heating for a short period of time. Is nothing but a pasteurization, in which the bacteria like Salmonella, E. coli, which are harmful, which we can't consume. When they are present in our milk, we can't consume that milk. So that milk cannot be consumed, so that the bacteria can be killed. The Louis Pasteur has been invented that pasteurization process, in which the milk is heated at high temperature for a relatively short period of time, so that the bacteria will be killed and the useful bacteria will be remained inside that milk, and proteins will not be disturbed. Like the many types of bacteria are used to convert this milk into various forms. Like the first popular form is the curd form. Okay, which we used to prepare in our household purposes. So lactobacillus. Okay, lactobacillus is the bacteria which converts the lactose. Okay, which converts the milk, the lactose present in the milk, to the lactic acid. Okay, so that it will be act as in the form of a curd. Okay, this is the popular dairy product in which the lactobacillus is used as a bacteria to convert that particular milk into a curd. And the next dairy product is the yogurt. Okay, yogurt is also prepared using some of the bacteria like lactobacillus, various other forms like streptococcus can also be used, like thermophilus can also be used. These type of bacteria are used in order to convert the milk product to the yogurt. Then next one, cheese. Cheese can also be prepared using streptococcus. These type of bacteria can be used. There are many types of useful bacteria are also present. Okay, regarding this one, we will discuss in detail each type of dairy products. What are the dairy products like curd, cheese, yogurt, and some other refined dairy products in which various useful bacteria are used. So I will list out for you all the useful bacteria which are used. And the next one is the bread baking. Okay, for the bread baking also we used to use some of the bacillus bacteria. Okay, the names which I also give the particular type of names, whatever the bacteria which are used, I will list out for you. Then alcohol drinks like methanol preparations. These all things involved some fermentation processes. In the bread baking also fermentation process. In the dairy product manufacturing also curd preparation is nothing but a fermentation process. All these processes, in the fermentation processes, the active bacteria or some useful bacteria is used in order to convert that component to our useful components. So I will list out the useful organisms. Then some organic acids can also be prepared using the bacteria, and some enzymes will be there. So that enzymes can also be used in some yogurt preparation, like active agent. One of the active agents can also be used as an enzyme in the yogurt preparation and steroid preparation. Okay, the sports persons which they use the steroids can also be prepared using some useful microorganisms or the bacteria, particular bacteria. In the sewage treatment, especially in the organic sewage treatment, in the aeration process, everything, the bacteria can also be used in order to digest that particular organic matter present in the sewage. Okay, I will list out that also. Then used as an insecticides. Many insecticides can be used in the fertility, like earthworms. You can take the examples of earthworms, which are farmer friendly. They can be used in the fertilizing that particular type of crop. Okay, the next one is the vitamins. For many vitamin synthesis for the compounds, organic components, we can use some of the useful bacteria. And in the antibiotic synthesis and antivirals and everything which we are consuming, the antibiotics which we are consuming for the cold purpose, for the treatment of cold and everything, which are synthesized using some of the useful bacteria. And many applications, many research is going on around the biotechnology in order to curb the harmful bacteria and in order to synthesize or produce more and more useful bacteria. This type of research are undergoing. Then next we have to study what are the general characteristics and biotechnological applications of protozoa, algae, fungi, bacteria, and viruses. Various other types of viruses are present. What are their shapes? What are their characteristics? How they act when they are present in some colony? How they act? How they are used in the biotechnological research? How they are used in developing useful products? We have to study these popular 5 types of microorganisms are given as per your syllabus. First one is protozoa, algae, fungi, bacteria, and virus. Okay, this is regarding the general characteristics. You will see this one. And the various examples of what type of the species are there, species are involved, comes under the category of protozoa. We will see. Then algae. Okay, algae. Many times we can see in the sea surfaces, around the sea surfaces, and the ocean regions. Many types of these algae components can also be present, as we can observe in the swimming pools or the small ponds. Whatever that formed is nothing but a algae only, that we look as a plants, sea plants. We will say popularly, we will say as a sea plants. So those are all categorized under the category of algae. Okay, there are 4 distinct groups in that one. So these characteristics can also be studied, how they act in a colonial form, how they are acting in form, everything we have to study. What are their applications? And fungi, okay, fungi. These are other types of microorganisms which are classified under eukaryotic categories. These are the eukaryotes. Okay, various eukaryotes we have to study in this one. What are their applications? How they are used in the biotechnological research, and how they are used in synthesizing various useful products. Like in the like we can consume mushrooms. We can consume as an edible source. Okay, those are also called as this one, fungi. Okay, we have to list out all these things. Then next, bacteria. Okay, as I said, that E. coli, salmonella. Now there is an outbreak of salmonella in the US region. Okay, whoever they are consuming some product which is okay, red onions. This is a hot topic now. You can conduct a research on this one. You can search in the Google. The last 10 days back, one news has come that there is a salmonella outbreak in the US, United States. Okay, in which the people who are consuming the red onions, they are getting infected with the salmonella bacteria. Okay, salmonella bacteria is highly infectious. Okay, okay, they are acting almost like this coronavirus. Okay, recently in the 10 days back only they have reported there is an outbreak, big outbreak. Around 40 to 50 people has been infected when they are consumed these salmonella laced red onions. They are finding out that red onions is the main culprit behind this salmonella outbreak, but the exact reason they don't know. What type of what they have consumed exactly. Many people are saying that when they are consuming these red onions only, they are infected with this salmonella bacteria. Okay, you can search on the web. Okay, we have to study this. What are the bacteria? How they looks like? What are their characteristics? What type of good bacteria are present? What types of bad bacteria are present? We have to see this one. Applications of these various bacteria like lactobacillus. I already said you, lactobacillus is used to convert milk to curd and everything. There are many harmful bacteria are also there, like pathogens, bacillus perfringen, bacillus cereus. Okay, they are nothing but a disease causing agents. They are responsible for spoilage of the foods like milk. Everything will be spoiled by this salmonella, E. coli bacteria when they are present. Okay, we have to study what type of good bacteria is there, what type of bad bacteria is there, how they are helpful in our day-to-day life consumption products, how they are used in our gut. Also many bacteria, useful bacteria is also present. Okay, we need to discuss all these things. Then viruses. Okay, recently there is a virus outbreak like coronavirus, SARS-CoV, we can say. Okay, many types of viruses are invading the human life, mankind around the world. In the starting of the world itself, many viruses are getting attacked by the human body. Okay, nothing but whether they are a RNA protein or a DNA protein, depending on that one, we can prepare the medicine for them. So we have to discuss here what type of RNA, what is RNA, what is DNA, how the particular type of virus will act. Like examples of these viruses are HIV virus, hepatitis, Ebola virus, influenza, coronavirus. More recently, the coronavirus, everything comes under the virus categories. What are these viruses? How they can be treated? Okay. So we have to study what are the general characteristics of this. Next one is the part B, which is the isolation or cultivation and growth. In the isolation part, what we see, for example, we want the lactobacillus. For example, the lactobacillus bacteria, which is very much useful for the curd preparation, is present in curd. We want to isolate them. We want to separate them from other unuseful components. So that is nothing but a isolation. Whatever the useful bacteria is there, the separation of that particular useful microorganisms is nothing but a isolation of a bacteria or a isolation of a microorganisms. Then whatever the pure culture, whatever the pure what we say pure microorganisms we obtain in the isolation process will be used to cultivate more and more like that bacteria or like that microorganisms we use to cultivate. That is nothing but a cultivation. Okay, multiplying that number of bacteria, the single bacteria into number of bacteria is known as a similar type of bacteria is known as a cultivation. Then each bacteria will have a growth stage. Okay, there are many growth stages like initiation, incubation period, then saturation period, death phase will be there. How much time this bacteria is going to live, what are the life cycle stages we have to study in this part. Okay, this now you can see this one, the sample collection. In the samples there are many sources of microorganisms. Out of this, whatever the bacteria, useful bacteria for us, we need to separate that one. That is nothing but a isolation. Okay, pure culturing we can call it. Isolation is nothing but pure culturing. Like lactobacillus we have to separate, we can separate. Like if you want a salmonella, we can separate the salmonella. Other side, like we have to separate some E. coli bacteria, we can separate E. coli as a pure culture. That pure culture will be developed into cultivated, multiplied by that microorganisms known as cultivation. Then we have to identify what type of bacteria we have just isolated. So now the cultivation, there are many methods for the cultivation and culturing. We will discuss later, physical, chemical, and biological methods. So after cultivation, we have to identify them using the morphology or some what are the biochemical components which are present. Using this terminology, we can identify what type of bacteria, what type of microorganisms they are. After isolation, we have to just use a manipulator in order to identify that particular type of bacteria. Then that a particular type of bacteria will be cultivated using cultivated like this technique, like streaking techniques and everything. When we just one bacteria is there, for example, if we apply in some suitable substrate is there, this is the red color which is called a substrate on which the particular microorganisms will be living. The substrate will be consumed by that microorganisms. Nutrition, this is called a nutrition, okay, like a food for the microorganisms. That food will be utilized by the particular one bacteria. When we apply streaking is nothing but just formation of a layers around this nutrition component. Then the nutrition components will be utilized by this bacteria and they get multiplied. The crores microorganisms, they will just multiply. That is nothing but a micro cultivation. Then after cultivation, we can inoculate when we are just giving some injection in the injection form. Some microorganisms will be injected in some living organisms. In this way also we can cultivate you can isolate the useful microorganisms from them. Then the growth stages, like I already said, the lag phase, which is actually very incubation phase. After incubating, it will see exponential growth phase. The bacteria will just grow in size, and after that, it will not grow in a size. It will remain in the stationary phase. After that, it will obtain in a death phase. According to their respective time, it will live for a long time or a short time. We have to study the various phases involved in the development of that particular microorganism. Then the popularly in this unit 3, there are two flow sheets. One is the fermentation process for preparation of continuous alcohol process, ethanol preparation, and next one is the biogas plant. These are the two flow sheets of it. Okay, that's all for today. The class is very less numbers are present. Okay, in the next class, same thing, you have to present. Okay, next 3 classes you will utilize it for your presentations only. Okay, please cooperate and present accordingly. Watch once again the same video so that you can get some idea how to present and everything. Okay, today Isaac was presented very good presentation. He has conducted some research how to do extract the oil from industry. Though you don't require anything for the examination point of view, but preparing in such a way then increase your knowledge. Okay, please do it in that way. Otherwise, you can present from the slides itself. Thank you for listening. Happy Krishnastami. Enjoy your day.